Okay, so I am here with my Cornell notes, page 1R, and I have annotated my notes after 10 minutes, and I have written my questions after grouping and chunking 24 hours later. And now it is time to write my summary on page 1L. On page 1L, I'm going to write this summary by looking at my questions. So my essential question is, how can my Cornell notes help me to make better grades? So I'm trying to answer that question, but if I have written good questions here, then these questions are going to help me answer that question. So the first question is, why is repetition important for retention and remembering? So as I write this paragraph, I'm going to think about, why is it important for remembering? How can I use this 10-minute, 24, 7-day strategy for repetition? What evidence will my teacher be looking for in my C notes, and when do I do each strategy? Those are the questions I wrote. So as I write this summary, why is repetition important for retention? The rate of forgetting, research tells us we need a minimum of 3 repetitions to remember new content and retain that knowledge. So that was one sentence answering my question, why is repetition important for retention and remembering? So I know the rate of forgetting graph was what was talked about there. And in order for me to remember something, I need to get at least 1, 2, 3 repetitions with it. And that's going to keep me here above 90%. So I wrote one sentence, but maybe I'm going to push it a little bit more. If I follow the 10, 24, 7 strategy, I will get at least 3 repetitions with my notes and remember information easier. And I'm going to put here 90%. I should be able to remember 90% or more of the information if I'm going back and using that 10, 24, 7 strategy. Now, the next question in my notes, how can I use the 10, 24, 7 strategy to get repetition? I am going to just make sure that I know those strategies. 10 minutes after taking notes, I will annotate. 24 hours after taking notes, I will group information and ask questions. That can be found in my notes. I getting this information? My answer to this question is right here. My answer to this question is right here. So the seventh strategy says that I'm going to read all the questions and I'm going to answer the questions in my summary. So 7 days later, I will write 1 to 2 sentences answering each question to create a summary. Right? I'm off to a really good start. The rate of forgetting research tells us we need a minimum of 3 repetitions to remember new content and retain that knowledge. If I follow the 10-24-7 strategy, I will get at least 3 repetitions with my notes and remember information easier, 90% or more. 10 minutes after taking notes, I will annotate. 24 hours after taking notes, I will group information and ask questions that can be found in my notes. 7 days later, I will write 1 to 2 sentences answering each question to create a summary. What evidence will my teacher be looking for in my notes? So to get a good grade on my Cornell notes, I need to have some evidence. I need to have some color codings and circles. Okay, I can write this. To get a good grade on my Cornell notes, I will need to have notes that are coded with symbols and color. Those notes will be grouped or chunked, and I will have 1 to 2 sentences for each question in my summary. So my summary has 1 to 2 questions for each question I have here. And down at the bottom, I have when do I do each strategy. Actually, I have already put that in my notes, so I don't have to add that to my summary. It's here. So this is how you write a summary. And then I would say that down here, if you come back some days later and you remind yourself of what you learned here, you could use this for a concept map, a drawing. I'm not going to be grading that. I'm looking to make sure that you have completed your 1R and your 1L here, that you have that evidence of the use of those strategies. So if you have questions, let me know. I'm here to help.